All right, let's jump right in. Today we're talking about a digital threat that's, well, it's pretty sneaky. It operates in the shadows of our everyday online lives. Think of it like an invisible thief, the kind you never see coming. And it's high time we figured out exactly how it works.
So let me ask you this. What if I told you there's a hidden enemy lurking in your inbox right now, just waiting for that perfect moment to snatch your most valuable data? I mean, it's a pretty chilling thought, right? But for a lot of people, this isn't just a what if, it's a reality they have to face.
You know, when we think about cyber threats, our minds usually go straight to the obvious stuff, right? Like those really loud, annoying viruses that crash your computer or bombard you with pop-ups. But here's the thing, beyond all that noise, there's something way more sinister going on in the background, and its methods, they're a whole lot quieter.
So it's about time we put a name to this invisible enemy. Let's actually identify the culprit behind all these digital break-ins. We're talking about a specific kind of malware called an infostealer.
Okay, so what exactly is an infostealer? Well, it's a special type of malicious software. Its one and only job, its entire purpose, is to sneak onto your computer and steal your sensitive info. And it does all this without you ever knowing it's there. The key thing to remember is its goal is to steal, not to destroy.
Here's a great way to think about it. A typical virus, that's like a vandal. It shows up, smashes things, corrupts your files, and makes a ton of noise. You know something's wrong. But an infostealer, that's a professional thief. It wants to quietly slip in, grab the valuables, and get out before you even realize anything's missing. Its entire game depends on being completely silent.
And that stealth, that silence, that's exactly what makes this stuff so incredibly dangerous. It's basically a silent killer in the digital world. So let's really dig into how these things actually operate.
And here's the really scary part. The absolute worst thing about an infostealer attack is the timing. You often have no clue you've been hit until it is way, way too late. By the time you finally notice something's off, your data might have already been packaged up, sold on the dark web, and your account's totally compromised.
So what are they actually looking for? What's so valuable? Well, basically, it's the keys to your entire digital kingdom. We're talking about your login credentials, for your email, your bank, your social media. They're after your financial data, like credit card numbers and account info. They'll even grab your personal files. Ultimately, what they're trying to do is steal your whole digital identity. And let's be clear, this isn't some small-time, hypothetical problem. These invisible thieves are the real deal. They are the main culprits behind so many of those massive data breaches you hear about in the news. This is happening all the time, all over the world.
Okay, so now we get what an infostealer is and what it's after. But the big question is, how does it get into your system in the first place? I mean, even the best thief can't get in if all the doors and windows are locked, right? So let's talk about how they find that open door. And that leads to a really important question. You're probably thinking, wait, I have antivirus software. I have a firewall. So how on earth does this malware get past all of your defenses?
Well, the answer is something called an attack vector. It sounds technical, but really it's just a fancy term for a pathway into your system. Just think of it like an unlocked digital window, or a door that's been left ajar. It's the one little opening the thief needs to get inside.
So what this really tells us is that we can't just focus on the thief out there. We also have to think about how secure our own house is. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important point here, turning the focus back on ourselves. So now that you know all about this invisible thief and how it's always looking for that one open door, I want to leave you with a question. What is the weakest lock on your digital door? Seriously, think about it. Is it a password you use everywhere? Maybe it's that old piece of software you keep forgetting to update. Figuring that out for yourself, well, that's the single most important first step you can take to keep yourself safe.